Coming up on the Elon Phoenix Weekly.
We get up close and personal with men's soccer.
Visit the newly renovated track and fields complex.
And play tribute to an Elon legend.
All that and more next on the Elon Phoenix Weekly. Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Elon Phoenix Weekly. I'm Tori Baptist.
And I'm Stephen Normington. Thanks for joining us on your ESPN2 local sports break.
When talking about how a sports team is doing, we typically talk about its successes in competition, but they didn't get those successes easily. Countless hours of practice have brought them to where they are.
Recently, the practice atmosphere for Phoenix teams has drastically improved, thanks to renovations on the northern side of campus.
A lot of changes have been made to enhance Elon's athletic programs. I talked with Dave Blank, Elon's Director of Athletics, to hear about the recent developments. I walked with Dave Blank over to the soccer field where a lot has been renovated. The bleacher seating was added a few years ago and the new work on the rest of the field has officially been completed.
Providing our dugouts and our press box and amenities, not only for our sports information and communications staff, but also for media and people that are covering the event. And then also the upper level where our coaches and visiting coaches can use for video and doing things that they need to do that's pertinent to their coaching. So it kind of completes the stadium, if you will. And really what we've done here with the brick pylons and the fencing and this whole side, it just really made it look like it definitely belongs on Elon's campus. And that's important to us, that our facilities match the campus.
What kind of effect has it had on the actual soccer players?
The biggest comment we've got in this facility so far, several visiting teams have commented on the fact that we have heat in our dugouts. So the coaches and athletes can sit in there and be warm, particularly when we're playing a late night game.
Blank says that since the facility exceeded expectations, they are entertaining the idea of also using the field for practice and competition in women's lacrosse.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and I know our student athletes will be appreciative and enjoy it for many years to come. But I also know our coaches will, because it's going to be a great recruiting event for them.
The track and fields complex was renovated as well.
Well, this is a project that's been coming on really since I got here, and that's been 2006 is when I got here. And we were having problems with this facility relative to the track surface and water getting under it. You know, if you look at the field, you can see how it's kind of humped. And so you've got water coming off the field and off these banks into this track. And basically, if you don't have a good seal in the track, water gets under there and causes it to come loose and all kinds of mold and stuff that gets under it. But it was definitely time to do something about it. So Jeannie Robertson, one of our Board of Trustee members, and her husband have been so wonderful to Elon University and particularly to athletics. Recognized the desire for us to fix something that was needed, and they helped us fund this project, and we're very grateful for that. So this is the Jeannie and Jerry Robertson Track and Field Complex. It's still the Belt Track, which has been named, and this is still out in the normal white field. When you build a track, you start on the inner wall where those rails are, and you come out. And what we were able to do was take the entire surface out and redo the angles. The track is slightly banked, but you wouldn't know it. It's so slight, it allows the water to basically drain to the inside slot drains. But everything goes off that interior wall relative to your distances, and then that's how this thing gets all painted up and everybody knows how far everything is. So there's a lot of science involved in how it's constructed.
One of the most influential changes made was actually above the track, the lights. The track couldn't be lit before, so practice had to end when the sun went down. Now the track can be enjoyed at any time of day.
We literally opened the track for practice Thursday, so there's been no feedback come my way yet because we're just getting started. So, but now we feel like we've got a product that people really want to come run on this track, and we'll be able to start things for Elon student athletes that they can perform here in front of their peers, and we're excited about the possibility of being able to do that.
Dave Blank made sure to say that the university will always strive to improve its facilities, both in academics and athletics.
Football is one of the most physically grueling sports, and its athletes are no strangers to playing through pain. With new research coming out each year linking the sport to life-altering brain injuries, many wonder, why play the game? Elon's brightest stars have the answer.
Right down this hill is where the Elon football team runs out to play in front of the Road Stadium crowd. But why they play is a question that only they can answer.
My best friend, AAU basketball teammate, passed away in a car accident, and I was in 8th grade, summer of my 8th grade year. And he was really good at football. And so because of the way he played the game, I was like, you know what, I should pick it up too. And I ended up being good at it, so it worked out.
Started playing football, I believe, like 4th, 5th grade. I had to beg my mom for a while, about a month or so before she let me try out for the local team.
Football is one of, if not the most physical sport there is, and with that physicality comes great enjoyment.
Knowing that you're just running as fast as you can to hit somebody, like the physicality of the game, I really like how physical it is, and man versus man, mano a mano.
It's nice to get to hit people. It definitely helps with any stress I have. You just take it on someone else. But it's you don't get to hit people very much in everyday life. So it's really a cool experience to be able to line up against someone else and be like, you know what? It's man to man, let's go.
My physical nature allows me to have an outlet sometimes, so letting some of the things out of my system I need to by punishing somebody else on the side of the ball.
But football also goes beyond the physical nature on the field. Some characteristics of the game have absolutely nothing to do with a big hit or a touchdown.
There's a bunch of outside elements that come with it, competition. You get to become a leader, you get to, with being quarterback, you get to do so many different things, and I think it just builds character, and it's just it's a life lesson that you can learn every day within the sport.
The life lessons that it teaches you in terms of discipline, in terms of commitment, teach you social skills, leadership skills, all those different things I think are very special about football.
There's a ton of work that people don't see that goes into it, and only the people that play the game really understand. So you have that special bond with their teammates and also with someone else that plays football.
Above other sports, there just seems to be a manly edge to the game of football that players really connect to.
I think football is like the modern day of gladiators or something, Like everyone went to the arena to watch a bunch of gladiators fight or whatever. And rugby and football, I believe, are like the modern day of that. Like people want to go see big hits. People like big hits, and people like competitiveness.
But to the actual question of why they play, each player brings their own unique answer.
Coach Skrosky has told us probably multiple times since he's been here, we work probably about 300 days a year for those 12 Saturdays, and how important those 12 Saturdays are. So while we're practicing and while we're doing that, that's just in the back of our mind. So if we get a win on those Saturdays, all the pain and suffering and practicing is worth it in the end.
Honestly, it's a great feeling to come off the practice field, tired, not wanting to do anything else, just want to go to bed. If you feel like that, then you've gotten better that day.
I feel like not everyone gets the opportunity to do what we get to do. A lot of people, wish they could play, wish they were blessed with nothing, athletic ability, or wish they, could walk or whatever. So I feel like that's another reason I play.
I play because I love the game. Really, at this point in my career, I don't know what I would do without football.
The Phoenix had a tough go about during their first season in the CAA, but with such committed players, expect big things from Coach Kostrowski's squad next season.
And that brings us to today's trivia. In what year did Elon play its first men's soccer contest? The answer to that coming up later in the show.
And that brings us to today's history.
This week in Elon sports history, we take a look back on Elon baseball victories versus #1 overall opponents. The Phoenix men's baseball program has recorded wins against #1 ranked opponents twice in the team's history. The first came in 1999, when the Elon squad swamped the University of Miami in a 13-6 upset victory. 3 years later, in 2002, the team would again face off against the top team in the nation, this time the mighty Clemson Tigers. Led by Elon career steals record holder Jason Tuttle, the Phoenix would go on to beat the Tigers 8-6. And that's this week's look into Elon sports history.
What is living the maroon life? It's more than just the hustle and the sweat. It's more than just the pain and the frustration. It's more than just the triumph and the glory. The maroon life is you. Yes, you. You, the athlete, striving to be at your best day in and day out. You, the alumni who have been in the stands supporting Elon for years. You, the fans who stream into games hours before kickoff. And you, the little ones who will be the next generation of Phoenix fans. You are what drives Elon Athletics, and you are the reason we do what we do. There is so much history and tradition behind our maroon. Conference titles, All-American, and national championships. But there is so much history and tradition yet to be made. So join us. Live the maroon life.
There are currently over 350 Elon student athletes competing in 16 NCAA Division I sports.
Scholarships enable us to succeed not only on the field,
but also in the classroom.
It helps us in achieving our commitment.
To live the maroon life.
Your gifts have the power to take Phoenix athletics to even greater heights while giving student athletes an outstanding education.
Welcome back to the Elon Phoenix Weekly on your ESPN2 local sports break. Nobody likes change, but when men's soccer was dealt a new coach, they embraced the shift and picked up right where they left off.
Coaches come and coaches go. In this past season, men's soccer lost their longtime head coach Darren Powell, and even with his departure, his players never forget the type of guy he was.
Darren was definitely a really passionate guy.
Darren's more kind of a player manager.
He really focused on, keeping things organized. There was never really a place for, flair.
The new man in charge is former longtime assistant Chris Little, and lucky for his team, the differences are few and far in between.
They're almost one and the same. They've got a lot of same principles. They structure practice very similarly.
They kind of meshed together really well because Darren was always the super passionate one and Chris was always kind of the more logical side of things.
However many resemblances they bear, that doesn't mean the new head coach doesn't have his own approach to the pitch.
Chris Little, he's a tactician. His mind for the a soccer game is unreal. I mean, it's almost unprecedented with any other coach in college soccer.
We do a lot of video. We did a lot of video with Darren, but we probably do even more, like twice as much with Chris.
Darren, like, he kind of had that balance in between of player manager and tactician.
Gathering the team before a game, like showing us film, talking about how the film actually applies and how we're like going to be able to use it. I think it's just one of the big differences.
Sometimes the hardest part of getting a new coach is the transition into the new year, especially for a successful team such as this soccer squad. However, Coach Little had everyone buy in early, allowing for what his staff and players claim has been a highly smooth change of the guard.
Throughout this whole thing, I think that it's hard for a coach to come in basically during the summer because you don't have the spring season to work with the players. So it's hard to gain like, all that kind of the family mentality that like teams need through like a spring season. He's kind of like hurried up the process because he knows that he kind of had to because he was getting the job over this summer and he didn't really have a lot of time to work with us.
It was definitely really smooth. The majority of the team knew Chris Little from beforehand, and we were actually hoping that he was going to be the one to be brought in, and certain players, like our team captains, were actively pushing for him to be the one brought in.
This fall, he's done a great job of getting everybody to buy into one plan and to hop on board, and I think that's very rare in a coach who came as early as he did.
The transition was phenomenally easy. It's just everybody knows him. I mean, he's a really personal guy.
Stay tuned for more from Chris Little later in the show when we get a unique look at one of Elon's best motivators.
We were devastated to hear about the passing of legendary Elon basketball player Jesse Branson earlier this week. In honor of Jesse and everything he did for the university, we'd like to take a look back at his rookie season in the maroon and gold.
On this day in Elon sports history, we take a look back at the Elon men's basketball program and the rookie season of Elon legend Jesse Branson. The 1962 season was supposed to feature the greatest 1-2 scoring punch in the history of Elon basketball, with Jug Irvin and Ken Smith. But due to injuries and eligibility issues, the duo faded out before the season. Yet Elon opened the season with 7 consecutive victories, led by rookie sensation Jesse Branson. Standing at 6 feet 7 inches, the forward pulled down 459 rebounds on the season and broke the Elon freshman record for points with 438 and a 15.3 points per game average. The Fighting Christians would finish the year with a 22-10 overall record, and Branson was selected to the All-Conference team. And that's today's look into Elon sports history.
Branson rewrote the record books at Elon and was drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers in the second round of the NBA draft in 1965. A few years ago, we had the great honor to interview Jesse for Elon Phoenix Weekly.
Some call him the best basketball player who has ever played at Elon. Back in the 1960s, Jesse Branson compiled astonishing statistics that remain unmatched by any other player, and choosing Elon seemed to be the perfect fit.
The atmosphere like that around Elon was always, it just sticks in my mind and so forth as being a family. I consider them family.
Even though the game was different then, the memories still last forever. One memory in particular involved a dare by former sports writer Charlie Harville.
He asked me, he said, "How high can you jump?" And I said, "I don't know, probably top of the backboard." So they got a ladder and put a 50-cent piece up on the backboard, up on the corner of the backboard, and I had no idea that I could get it, but I did, and so that seems to be one of the, the favorite things to tell about me, you know, while I was at Elon.
Many recall that once-in-a-lifetime leap, but Branson remembers the connections with his teammates instead.
The things that mean the most to me was my relationship and so forth with the other guys that I played with while I was in college.
From 1961 to 1965, Branson set 17 individual records, including the most points scored with 2,251. His accomplishments on the basketball court did not go unnoticed by professional scouts.
I was drafted by Philadelphia, and I was the second first person drafted in the second round.
Joining a 76ers team that featured one of the NBA's all-time greats, Branson got to know this future Hall of Famer on a personal level.
Wilt Chamberlain was a very quiet person. He tried to stay out of the limelight even though he couldn't. A lot of people took him the wrong way and thought he was better than anybody else, but that was far from the case. Wilt was a very humble person, and if you got to know him, and he and I became real good friends.
After the 76ers, Branson played 2 seasons with the New England Buccaneers and finished his professional career in 1968, and returned back to the area he once called home.
I've stayed close to Elon ever since I got out of school, and because I was born and raised right in this, this part of the country, and so it's just natural that we go back there, and as good as they still treat us, we'll keep going till we die. So.
An Elon education is about preparing students for a life of global citizenship. Of course, this is a place where you're going to come and earn a degree, but it's also a place that's going to get you to think very deeply about how you're going to use that degree to make the world a better place.
There are currently over 350 Elon student athletes competing in 16 NCAA Division I sports.
Scholarships enable us to succeed not only on the field,
but also in the classroom.
It helps us in achieving our commitment.
To live the maroon life.
Your gifts have the power to take Phoenix athletics to even greater heights while giving student athletes an outstanding education.
What is living the maroon life? It's more than just the hustle and the sweat. It's more than just the pain and the frustration. It's more than just the triumph and the glory. The maroon life is you. Yes, you. You, the athlete, striving to be at your best day in and day out. You, the alumni who have been in the stands supporting Elon for years. You, the fans who stream into games hours before kickoff. And you, the little ones who will be the next generation of Phoenix fans. You are what drives Elon Athletics, and you are the reason we do what we do. There is so much history and tradition behind our maroon. Conference titles, All-American, and national championships. But there is so much history and tradition yet to be made. So join us. Live the maroon life.
The Elon Phoenix Weekly is made possible by the students of the School of Communications in association with the dedicated coaches, athletes, and staff of Elon Athletics.
And now the answer to today's trivia. Earlier we asked, in what year did Elon play its first men's soccer contest? The answer? 1972. On October 13th that year, Elon defeated Guilford College 2-1 for the program's first victory.
The man who's led Elon through all the ups and downs of the season, Chris Little, is one of the most vivacious coaches on campus, pushing players to the extreme but also showing the love and compassion needed to steer the ship. Hear what Coach Little had to say in a recent game against James Madison.
First season is Chris Little. He is assisted by Jonathan Connor, Brad Franks, and Taylor Sachs.
Lewis! Lewis! Sammy! Jono, get organised now! Come on, get organised! Get in the box, Cowie! Come on! What's the call there? Referee's just kicked the ball away. Positive, Lewis! Positive! Stand up! Stand up! Ref, you do it! Strong here. Work with them, boys. Work with them. I love you strong. Forward, Miggy! Forward, Miggy! Hurry! Nate gets it. Get wide. Yes! Yes! Referee! Outside of foul. That's not a foul. Come on. Good. Composure now. Connect the first pass. Composure. Come on. Come on, tempo. It's okay. Hey, it's all right. You know where to go there. It's all right. It's all right. Good. Try. Great run, good boy, good. James, you good movement. Hey, keep playing for each other. Connect the extra pass. Ref, on the move. Keep going, it's gonna come. Come on. Go at it, 1v1, go at it. On your toes, moving. Referee. Early mix. Oh, unlucky, Miggy. Moving. Get it right, get your hips open, move it! Go at him, Waters, go at him! Lewis! Relax, get a hold of it. Sammy's here if you need him. Nice, simple! Get balls in the box! Come on! Concentrate on doing your job. Go quick! Come on, boy! Come on! Let's go, White! Austin! Clark, ref! We don't go short to pump it back up the middle. Go here, go to Nathan. This makes no sense. Play short, get out here, get the ball going. Are we for real? What are we doing?
Won our best, we got a point out of it, clean sheet, move on, get ready for the next game. Okay, everything's still in our hands.
As you can tell, filming Chris Little on the sideline was quite the experience, and I'm extremely excited to see what he does with the program.
I'm sure he'll bring us a lot more exciting games in the future.
If you've missed anything or want to watch it again, be sure to check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/Elon Phoenix Weekly.
You can also catch us on Time Warner Cable to watch us on demand.
Also be sure to visit elonphoenix.com to learn more about the upcoming games and exciting successes for Elon Athletics. And be sure to tune in next week when you get an inside look at conference champion Luis Vargas.
On behalf of our producers and crew here at the show, we hope you continue to have a spectacular weekend.
For the Elon Phoenix Weekly, I'm Stephen Normington.
And I'm Tori Baptist. Live the Maroon Life.